Some issues beyond our control, but it's great that we're here to do the people's job. It's on Good Morning Liberia, Good Morning and welcome. My name is Abraham Parker. 60 minutes. The time will be 8. We'd like to say good morning and welcome. This is where we talk the talk in the best interest of Liberia. We think Liberia as a country can get better when we all come together and build our country. It is our responsibility as our citizens of this country to think positively, in making Liberia a better place. It is on this radio, folks. We hear those of you listening and watching as well. Would like to say good morning and welcome. Invite somebody. Tell them that the show Good Morning Liberia is on. And sometimes some of the things we say can just go down well with you, but that's a beauty. We think that it is our responsibility as citizens of this country to make Liberia better. So it is not about certifying your quest, your desire. Sometimes it is not about what you want to hear. It is about the raw truth because we think like that Liberia can get better. It is our country. All right. So we must all stand up. We must all stand up to make Liberia a better place. How do we do it? Is by engaging into civil dialogue. We believe that through dialogue, our country can definitely move forward. This is Good Morning Liberia. My name is Abraham Parker. I'm here this morning up to 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we call it a date on this segment. So we want you to invite somebody to listen, okay? First, somebody that the show is on this morning, and the program runs up to 10 o'clock. 2 minute things to talk about this morning. So share the life and let's have conversation this morning. It is a good thing, a wonderful thing. So, like we said on yesterday, let's keep the president of the Press Union of Liberia in our prayers, Charles Coffey. Yes, he was involved into an accident while returning from Grand Kuru County. And may God see him through. Yes, our prayers are with you, Honorable President. And we pray that, you can actually overcome this. And that accident indeed was terrible. That led to the death of the operator of the motorcycle. So you see, so it tells that it was actually a bad one. There are too many statements coming up, and I think as members of the union, I think it is our responsibility now to just keep quiet, keep cool, and we just pray to God that he return as per his current condition. So God is in control indeed, and it is always good. But follow us, yes, follow us on the show. Too many things to talk about this morning. It is our responsibility. Too many things to talk about. Let's point to what things we'll be doing here this morning. And we have this conversation in 30 minutes time. It is our understanding that the National Elections Commission indeed has certificated 10 new political parties. It is just in addition to the ones we have. All right. So the National Elections Commission has certificated 10 new political parties. That was done on yesterday, I'm told. Yes, so that's it, though, my people. They are coming again. So 10 new political parties have been certificated by the National Elections Commission. My word. Oh, my word. That's a beauty. So share the live and let's have conversation this morning. It is our responsibility to engage into civil dialogue and making Liberia a better place. So share the live, invite somebody. And those of you watching this morning, we definitely going to acknowledge you following. You could be mentioned this morning as part of our recognition. So just tell us exactly where you're following us from. And let's move on this morning. At 8 o'clock, we bring you the president's segment where you're going to speak to the president. Yes, the president returned to the country on yesterday after attending the inauguration of Nigeria's president. So it was a wonderful event. Too many things, were said on during the inauguration of President Tinubu from Nigeria. So that process took place, yes, and the president returned on yesterday. So that particular segment comes on very shortly. That is at 8 o'clock this morning, and you're just going to call, tell us exactly, your name, where you're following, and where you think the president, as part of his developmental agenda, as part of his workings in Liberia, where you think he can focus as president of this country. What do you think some of the areas he focus? What are some of the areas he has done well, and you think he needs to improve? It is, a conversation as such makes him more healthier than engage into destructive ones like the guys from the opposition will do. So anything we say should be in the best interest of the citizens. So once they are not in the interest of the citizens, obviously you on your own, because we think that our country needs to get better. We've come a long way on some of the problems and some of the things we cried about over and over in this country. Yeah, some of these problems are old age problems. People are thinking out of the box now. What can we do as citizens, as people of this country? Because it is not about the presidency alone. It is not about, just about the legislature. It is not about the judiciary. We ourselves, as citizens of this country, have a greater role to play. All right, so we must stand up if Liberia is to get better. We must engage ourselves. We must challenge ourselves. Okay, yeah, we must challenge ourselves. So then yesterday we did a follow up on the conversation that has to do with the education sector in Miami County. There was this conversation we had on yesterday where it was being reported allegedly that the district education officer for the Farmington Education District indeed was commercializing education in that particular area. And those of you who listened to the show on yesterday, we spoke with the advocacy group from that area. The acting executive director was on the show via telephone from Magiri, and he informed Liberians that his investigation established that the account opened by the DEO of the Farmington Education District was in clear violation. He opened an extra account allegedly that whenever a school is fined, instead of the money going to government's revenue, that account is opened, and it is opened in the institution's account and not in government's account. So previous administrations practice that whenever you violate the Ministry of Education policy, indeed, you will be fined. So sometimes it's just common in Liberia when school is about to open, like the high schools, when they're about to open, the Ministry of Education will come out with different policy, and you see the monitoring evaluation officers all in the field in making sure that school administrators adhere to that strict policy from the Ministry of Education. And once you are in violation, obviously you will see yourself being penalized. And the fine, as per the punishment, the money now should go to government's account, government's revenue. Yeah, so that's another way that government generates revenue. So, but once it is being disregarded, and you say, okay, since it's supposed to go to government revenue, let's do it this way. Let's open the account in the institution's name. So, what does government stand to benefit? And it's just clear that sometimes when schools the public schools are opening, the registration, a little money collected, they send that particular money back to the Ministry of Education, and then the Ministry of Education will have to do some remittances and all that stuff. But if you now, as a district education officer, start to take the money instead of giving it to government and the rest of it, I think it's somehow. So we did a follow up on yesterday. We tried reaching Marcin Blayton, and one way or other, we will finalize the entire thing. We got to the county education officer yesterday. So the guy who is in question has promised to speak with us, and hopefully on today we'll climax the entire thing. When you're doing an investigation, it will take you time, so you don't want to rush into it. Okay, so that's exactly the update, because we promised to have given you update on yesterday. So that's it. So like we said, The National Elections Commission, has accredited and certificated 10 new political parties ahead of the October 10, 2023 elections due in 4 months from now. The 10 political parties are the United. You're listening to political parties, Nemo. You're listening to their names, all right? You're listening to the name. Okay, the new political parties that were certificated on yesterday. The 10 political parties are the United Independent Democrats. United Independent Democrats. Hey, they are coming. Let's be serious about this. Let's move on. The United Independent Democrats, the National Development Party, that one political party named there. The National Development Party, All Liberian Solidarity Party, Reformers National Congress, and the Greater Action Party of Liberia. Other parties are the African Liberation League. Hey. So you're listening to the African Liberation League. So from the Liberia, the People's Liberation Party, so we now have African Liberation League. The Grassroots Development Movement, Liberia First Movement. Oh, Liberia First Movement, my man, Shakwiyate, congratulations. Hey, my man, political party is being certificated. Congratulations, Sheikh Mustafa Kuyate. Yes, we need to talk about this political party, this newest political party on the block, Liberia First Movement. So the man was certificated yesterday. Congratulations, Chief. And the African Democratic Movement of Liberia and the Liberia Rebuilding Party. That the political parties that were certificated on yesterday. Okay, so let's go back over their names. All right, the United Independent Democrats, that's one. The National Development Party, that's two. The All Liberian Solidarity Party, that's three. The Reformers National Congress, that's four. Greater Action Party of Liberia, that's five. The African Liberation League, that's six. Grassroots Development Movement, that's seven. Liberia First Movement, that's eight. African Democratic Movement of Liberia, that's nine. And the Liberia Rebuilding Party. So people say they want to build Liberia. And the chairperson of the National Elections Commission, Madam David Etta Brown Lassana, said their certification is in keeping with Article 79 of the Constitution of Liberia. She said the political parties have met all the legal requirements to be certified as full-fledged registered political parties within the Republic of Liberia. And she noted that the parties have fulfilled all of the requirements for registration as provided for in Article 79 of the Constitution of Liberia and the National Elections Commission guidelines and regulations relating to the formation and establishment of a political party to operate in Liberia. Okay, so that is clear. 10 new political parties are being certificated by the National Elections Commission. And this is just in accordance with Article 79 of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. It is their political right. Once you meet up with the various requirements and the regulations as well, yes, you can be certified by the National Elections Commission as a full-fledged political party. So, in Liberia now, 10 new political parties. Just in addition to the ones we have, 10 new political parties. Now, let's look at their interest. These 10 political parties all have interest. Let me tell you this morning, before we can get to the president's segment. It's just 2 minutes up to 8, and we will definitely get to the president's segment. And at 8:30, we will look at the pro agenda, the PAPD. The PAPD, where are we as a country, as part of the government's working too. Since 2018, that particular agenda was crafted. What is within that agenda? What have they achieved? What are some of the areas they've touched? And we'll go to one angle this morning, one angle within the PAPD, and we'll talk about that this morning. That is from 8:30 up to 10 o'clock this morning. So we here. So those of you following would like to say good morning. Yata Nkrumah says good morning. Jeniton Gomo, that's Gomo, yeah. Says good morning. Fomba says good morning. Sunshine, I'm watching you live. From the Jenny Tala Development Association in Grand Cape County. Thanks for joining us. Coman Klein, Decent Intellectual Forums. Thanks for joining us. Honorable George Watkins Jr. says, good morning, viewer, and a pleasant good morning to the peace-loving people of River G County, the land of supremacy. Thanks for the show. I'm following live from the free port of Monrovia this morning. Papi Success Keita says, good morning, Liberia-VOL CDC, Papi Success Keita from Duport Road. From Philadelphia, always watching Brown Yamfor. Thanks for joining us. And those of you just joining us would like to say good morning and let's have a beautiful conversation this morning. Okay, so these 10 political parties that are being certificated, they have one interest. And the one interest is going for the presidency. How clear, just 4 months to election, that you have a political party has been introduced, and you say a political party of such, or the 10 political parties will have a clear vision. Probably they might have studied the country, and one will say they were doing their in-house working, and this is the time they've come to participate into the process. That one will just call it participation, because there are certain political parties in Liberia you can look and say they will not reset in place. They will not reset because 4 months you will have to go to the various areas. So sometimes you just want to be recognized, so you will come into the process. Some will have to go and join, and they will do a coalition. So the 10 political parties, maybe like 5 will either join the Rudy establishment, and some 5 or 3, 2 will join the ruling, the guys within the CPP, and maybe another like something, maybe 2 or 3 would join the Unity Party to form a merger. Because if you have a direct in and you feel like this is lit, all you need to do, you can join a collaboration, do a merger, and you guys go for one goal. So, but that's it though. 10 new political parties have been added to the ones we already have as existing political parties. On yesterday, as part of the University of Liberia's graduation ceremony, Madam Emma Glasgow called, said something that we all need to talk about this morning, but we will definitely look at that coming up. And human capacity development, human capacity building is key to the existence of any country. So to be diversified, I think it is good for us as a country. Normally at times I say Liberia is still a virgin country when it comes to development. There are too many things. We don't even have the manpower. Every time we want to say this, that, we don't even have the manpower. So one of the things that I think we need to do is to focus in the human capital. In the human capital. So we'll go to the telephone lines now. President George Weah is in country. Yes, he returned on yesterday. And he participated. He was part of those who witnessed the inauguration of Nigeria's president. So you call us now 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Tell us exactly what you think the president can focus as part of his activities in Liberia as president of this country. And if you want to appreciate the president this morning, he's listening. Call us on 0770 907 907. We designed this segment of the show to give voice, to people who are not heard on national discussions who sometimes are not given the opportunity to interact directly with the president. So this is the opportunity for you this morning. Call us and let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name?
This is Mike Momo calling from Lafontaine.
Let's hear you, Mark.
Yeah, my brother, the only thing I wanted to say about our president is like milking everything.
Is it?
Our brother got elect, elect our president got elected. Now it is the national anthem being growing for people to the president on the emergency issue. Like before we know that whatever something happened to the nation, like the kind of tragic accident, people got killed, people got killed. We know that our president, most of the time, will go national to show consent. Even if it is about this business that translating all around that affecting our benefit system. The president should have put the national anthem where everybody celebrating and the president straight on it.
I think the president on this drug business too. I think the president has spoken to that. You followed the launch of the issue about rehabilitating people of such category, and so I think you followed that. You followed the president on that.
So what the president is straight on action and planning to take this will reduce. Even when it comes to the secret killing, one day the president will address the nation on it that those people are involved, that anytime, any process, anytime, anywhere, when those people this thing that will happen to them. But nothing automatically our president is
Okay, so you think you want for the president to focus on that? Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, you live. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Thank you. This is Northern Time.
Mm.
And I'm from District 8 in Montreal.
District 8. Go ahead, let's hear it.
Let me say good morning to the president.
Mm.
But good morning to you. You see, sometimes tomorrow we are not the opposition to you. We protect you so I can do better for us. But sometimes when you go contrary, I'm like my own daughter in my house here, when you go contrary, I will talk to her. See what happened now to some of the official in government? For example, recently they bought and left 1 year that went around. The traffic accident in the Ghana that basically are involved. Up to now, there's no management to become having that when on board, still now on a critical condition. Today, there has been no statement from the Minister of Transport to tell her coming that when people on board. So to the fact this is happening because sometimes you kill me-toos sometimes. You don't talk. You don't talk. But the president, why say sometimes in my brother, someone saw there and do someone baby. It's only bad in the country. Everybody looking up to this president to speak up, to speak a word. But this president is on the contrary. I don't know why. Thank you this morning, man.
Thank you. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. I the numbers. And you will be live on Good Morning Liberia. Speak to the president this morning. It is an opportunity indeed provided you. So, what are some of the areas you think the president can focus? 0770 907 907. We'll talk to this person. Good morning. Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name? Abraham, go ahead. Abraham, go ahead. What do you mean? What? Well, you got travel. I'm not talking about the travel of the president. The president returned on your. I think this is. Well, let's leave it. 0770 907 907. Good morning and welcome to the show. We're here this morning up to 10 o'clock. Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Just dress and wait for your receiver. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, after Sherry coming from Madonna Street.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
If it's real that the president is listening to you or to this station, I will be happy. If he actually listening to
Go ahead. Just speak to the president.
because I'm speaking to the president ceremony, you feel
That's what you think.
now down. Now down.
Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Big Julius goes from Broadfield.
Go
And
ahead.
as the previous caller then
No,
said,
you don't. Do not base your what you're about to say on. Speak to the president. The thing is, just what you think the president. Hello. Well, it is not about the overall rating that you want to do this morning. You think there are some areas you think the president needs to focus. Just say, "Oh, focus in
yes,
this
I'm
so
only
place."
trying to focus on the
Mm-hmm.
very situation in the country, more especially the what economic situation, the killing, and some of those national issues were happening. The president needs to come on air and address the nation because every word that comes from the president becomes a policy, national policy. And I think a discussion of some of the ills in society definitely the country and those the perpetrator of those acts will come to they will repeat those kind of stuff.
Okay.
To stop it. But because he's not doing anything, so we still continue to have it killing, looting, all those funny things is happening. So I think the president should come up with statement on some of these things.
Okay. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name?
My name is Patrick and I'm calling from Human Drive.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Let me appreciate this morning for the still talking point. And also, let me appreciate all my performing versus of our boss to be here this morning.
Mm.
Mr. President, good morning to you. You're listening to us. Mr. President, we have so many issues yesterday when it comes to the illegal killing. Just as you know, we all have a former Muslim card brother of which the police are supposed to release some information to us. And then our justice minister started over it. Today, again, we have drug business in our country. The GM were arrested. The police said all the court for the court to investigate and put it in the public. But if you have the people that our country country leave that two years on our behalf, so they tell us that I'm going to on the radio saying that the people of Georgia are accused the justice minister that they did that particular job. So the president, please do not allow the justice minister to continue to spoil our government. So the president has to take serious action against the justice minister. Every case that is going on in our country, every job that is entered into this country, I have to believe that the justice minister is any way of this particular minister. As the justice minister, you should instruct the police to do that effectively. But when the police are doing that effectively, the justice minister is stepping. The president, you have to take serious action against the justice minister. Please do not take the justice minister to spoil our government. We see all the head writing from you. We appreciate the head writing from the company over the one thing that even say that justice minister. God have you, the president. Let us take action on the justice minister. Thank you.
Very good. Good morning. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You live. Let's hear you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Congratulations to our president for returning back safely.
Mm.
But I want to ask him kindly in his Nigerian office, high office, if you should have listened to your program, I'm one of the elders from Pakistan, the other Family Fellowship Church. There is an elder in Liberia. I want to talk to him in the church. Then he allowed me to talk to him. There are so many issues we are thinking that I do in the public.
Okay. Thank you. 0770-907-907. We call it They coming up very shortly, and we speak to some national issues in Liberia. Let's talk to this person. Good morning. That person is out at 8:15. We'll call it a day on this particular segment, yes, of the show. We have this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Joe and Carlos. I'm calling from Radio.
Go ahead. Let's hear you. Red.
Yeah, my brother, you have been a long time. You have been unable to answer my call, but thank you very much for doing that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, people should call the show when they have something to say. Should be back to remember that the guy said that the incident occurred in Ghana and the president of my school on that. There is not a brand new issue that you can discuss where the president does not even have a fact on that and can't go there and bring the national anthem, whatever would you do to bring it and say that something really are happening that the president will speak to that. If you don't have something to say, don't call on the show.
Okay, thank you. All right, so a selling point you want to, yeah, you want, but that's it. That's it. We're receiving a very troubling information this morning from Grand Gita. I don't know what is this, but we will definitely we want to reach out to um, the guys from Grand Gita. I don't know. Okay, so we'll talk to this person. He should be our last caller. Good morning. Good morning. If that person is out. But this information from Grand Gita this morning, it says from I'm getting this one. It's our time for 12th graders. It said unconfirmed information. It says a 12th grade student name we've heard for now, who is believed to be for late in her late 27 has died at the Zoeju multilateral dormitory while Kami. It is yet unclear what led to her death, but what remains unclear is the Ministry of Education has announced that no WAS students should be on camp, but the Zweju Multilateral High School 12th graders are believed to be on camp at the institution dormitory. Wow. Hope we can actually speak with our guys from Grand G that can help us confirm this information. George Smosaki Jr., thanks for joining us. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us. And Emmanuel in Hajiman and the rest of the guys, thanks for joining us. So that's the information right now from Grand G County that we hope to confirm. There are other issues we'll talk about this morning, and coming up, like we said, in the PAPD that we need to speak to this morning. And I'll try looking for the full speech of Emma Emma Glasgow, Madam Emma Glasgow, the Director General for NAFA. You know, she spoken yesterday at the University of Liberia graduation ceremony. That process is still on today. Another section will be up, yes, and the rest of it. So this morning, like we said, we're just going to take 30 minutes on this conversation where you'll be able to opportune to place in your call and the rest of it. So I was talking to this issue that has to do with human capacity building is key. Like in Liberia, we noticed that there are too many people, just focus on one way. Like for example, you see NAFA is working beyond time, and we must say kudos to Madam Emma Glasgow for all she's doing at that particular, institution, improving the features sector of Liberia. Over the time, that sector has been dormant, and since she got to that position, she and her, her, her deputy, Mr. Monibala, they have worked overtime in making sure that that sector is given attention. So that's why they introduced future education at the University of Liberia. Like that, people can think out of the box, go at the university, and learn more about the sector. 5, 6 years from now, you have about 500 Liberians being empowered. That like they're working on time. What they say they want to build a national center for futurists for the futurist sector where you see people on the waters of Liberia whenever they own the waters and they need to make a break in Liberia, all the different fishes that they will have on that water can actually be sold right in Liberia, can be packaged in Liberia right here, and people can go there and get fresh fish. So when you have people trained in that area, obviously you've empowered people. So sometimes you see people in South Korea, China, these young minds are being developed by the very people heading government institutions. they've been empowered. So we say human capacity building is key, and that is one thing that is lacking. And we are rich in human capital, but in reality, it seems very poor because we are not investing into human capital. That whether you in the opposition, you in the government, that is just clear. We are not investing into human capital. Once you invest into human capital, obviously you're going to see people, young people, not depending on government. You will see young innovators. That's why you see entrepreneurs today in Liberia, though they are not being empowered to the extent that they should be, but again, with their little resources, you see entrepreneurs, young people, other people are involved into waste management. They are thinking out of the box. Now in Liberia, something that was so different or difficult on yesterday, it's been transformed. The corner sure. Now you have somebody is producing soap, somebody is producing oil, somebody is producing hair butter from a corner sure. It speaks to volume to a larger extent that we'll have more of these people in our sector, in our country. It will not just be the responsibility of government to provide job for these for the let's say the population, because once you have people who are empowered, like they go for studies, they come back, they put to practice what they've learned, they serve as employer. So once you get about 2, 3, 5, 15, 30, 150, 150, 200, 300 Liberians, 500, 700 Liberians, 1,000 Liberians providing jobs, right? Like that, the population, like I was having a conversation with this guy from Redeem Liberia movement. He said something, he said, people are just vulnerable in this country. So I asked him, what do you mean? He said that attention has been shown or what? And he was clear, he said that the reason is people are not doing anything. So once you see this young man who is to wake up in the morning and go on the hustle, he has something to do, you will now see him on jog and the rest of it. So people are vulnerable. So you got about 1,005 Liberians, right? Providing jobs. Like that we have the guys within the waste management sector providing job in that area. People in Grand Bassa are working. People in Montserrat are working. Young people. So you will not have to depend on government alone to do the needful by providing jobs, right? So I think human capacity development is key to the existence of any country. So the developed countries you see around the world today, they did not just wake up to be developed or to be where they are today in terms of development. They had to invest into human capacity building. And it is not strange. We can also do that in Liberia. And that's why the issue about TVET is key. Yeah, TVET is key. Technical vocational education is key. We need to add value to that. We need to modify. Oh yes, when we should have modified that particular thing, make that sector more attractive. It is not just by going by the interior decoration, we're going to do the petty ones, but let's modify it. Let's make it to reach to a standard that tomorrow when a person should have graduated will not just serve as a liability to society, but will also provide empowerment for others. Okay, so that's it. We hope we all can actually join into that. So, like we said this morning, our conversation was based on basically the issue that has to do with the PAPD, the Proper Agenda for Prosperity and Development in Liberia. Now, this government, since its inception in 2018, has been able to list a lot of things uh, as part of their achievements in 5 years. The issue of health the government has been able to achieve something in health, education. This government has also been able to achieve something in education, youth development, gender and social protection. This government has been able to achieve something in youth development, gender and social protection. The macroeconomic stability and growth that has to do with the monetary policy and fiscal policy, this government has been able to achieve something in that area. The next area is rise in fuel prices, stable, being stable, and talking about the stability and energy. This government has been able to achieve something in that direction. So, infrastructure and roads, this government, since it took over 2018, she has been able to achieve something in agriculture and let's say infrastructure and roads. They talk about they've built more than 233 kilometers of primary roads since 2018. The connection of the Ganta to Harper by paved road and the rest of it. In rise and fuel prices, stability and energy, according to them, they've kept the price of rice at US $13 per 25 kg when the price was US $16 under the former administration. Agriculture and forestry. This development has been able to achieve something within that area. We talk about poverty and growth profiles. This government, indeed, as part of its achievement plans, has been able to achieve something. Peace, human rights, and the rule of law. The maintenance of peace in Liberia is key. This government, as well, has been able to achieve something within their area. Public safety and national security. They've been able to increase the budget of the army by US 4 million in fiscal year 2022. They ended the cutting of soldiers' pay by 20% to support the Mali peace mission. The rapid US 1.1 million of soldiers' money used by former defense minister Brandon Samuka. Just a few of that, and they've been improved. They've been able to improve soldiers' living condition through barrack renovation around the country. They've increased the force strength of the AFL, the LMP. They increased the LMP budget by more than 3 million in fiscal year 2022. They are all things that you can talk about on this government. The social inclusion and traditional governance. This government, according to them, has been able to construct more than 20 new market buildings for mothers across the 15 counties. Okay, they've been able to construct more than 100 purple homes across the 15 counties. That's 1,000. Okay, they've been able to construct more than 1,000 purple homes across the 15 counties, undertaking other multiple projects. And they provided logistics, vehicles, and motorbikes to Liberia's traditional leadership across the 15 counties. And the traditional leaders in Liberia, indeed, can attest. The public audit, decentralization, and revenue sharing, this government has got something to say about that. So constructively, we're going to deal with it this morning. What are the areas we think we're going to place serious emphasis on this morning as part of our talking point on this Wednesday's edition of the show? So this government has got something to say when it comes to public audit, decentralization, and revenue sharing. They said they restored the budget of the GSC to levels before the macroeconomic shock and planning more support. They've improved the audit of the government revenue account through better financial records, more than as it was under the UP government, a lot. But this morning, what makes it more important is the issue about education, like I was talking about human capacity building, which is key to the existence of any country. Now, The 12th graders, I in the process, they I writing the 2023 WAS. And as part of this government's achievement on education, they've said, and we're going to take our own time to break it down. You know, in Liberia, when you don't go the other way around at a certain point in time, once you talk about education, there are times people do not really pay attention to some educational programs, right? So most of the times they want you to go, they be head to head with either the government or those with within the opposition, and that's when you think you can have them participating. But this morning, we want to conscientize our mothers. I know there are people who are capacitated in Liberia to pay their children's wise fees. They are capacitated, like I said. They are in the position, oh yes, to pay their children's wise fees. So it is of no worry to them when this process comes about. But again, let's speak to people who are incapacitated, people who do not have the opportunity, people who are struggling, people who are depending on selling the beta balls, you know, the okra and the rest of it to have their children in school. Who, when they say the process is about to kick off, that the payment of wise fees, then you see them worrying, you see them moving from here and there, you see them doubling their susu just to pay their children's wise fees because they don't want for their child or their children to be thrown out of school. So this morning we've come to speak with them. On education, this government has been able to introduce all the free public college education that benefits 10,000 Liberians every year. The free public college education. So we will definitely look at education this morning. We're going to critique this particular agenda and where we think it's necessary. So the agenda is just there, right? So if you've been able to achieve and your achievements within that particular sector are visible, indeed we will speak to it. If they are not visible, like they talked about the issue about agriculture, that would have had an increase in productivity from 2018 to 2000, let's say 2023, we will have an increase. Productivity was going to be on a large scale when it comes to the country's agricultural sector. Much is now seen from within that particular sector. So once we reach to agriculture, we're going to critique that particular thing. But today, we on education. So the government talks about the free public college education that benefits over 10,000 Liberians every year. The free WAS fee that benefits more than 40,000 students yearly. Started the building of 28 high schools and 18 early childhood schools. Have given 3,500 supplementary teachers payment, permanent teachers status. According to them, they've been able to increase the pay of 3,500 supplementary teachers from Liberian dollars 8K to US 125. If this is visible, indeed it is commendable. All right. According to the government on education, they have been able to add additional 1,300 teachers and guidance counselors to government payroll. Okay. All right. The University of Liberia registration and the rest of it. But let's come to the free WAS that benefits more than 40,000 students yearly. What does the Pro agenda for prosperity and development say about education as part of its vision? As part of its vision in Liberia. As part of its vision in Liberia. Okay, so let's give you a basic concept about the agenda for prosperity and development. So those of you listening this morning, like we said, we have come to look at the proper agenda for prosperity and development, where the good ones are will definitely speak to it. So like we said, we're talking about education this morning. The proper agenda, as we all know, is a 5-year national development plans projected on the Liberia Vision 2030 framework document. And that Vision 2030 document that we're talking about was something that was initiated under the former government, the former administration. That particular Liberia Vision 2030 is a document setting up a developmental framework verbalized through careful consultations in 156 districts across the country and dialogue with Liberians in the diaspora. And that particular thing was looked at in 2012 in Banga, with the common saying, one people, one nation, united for peace and sustainable development. What does this mean? Is the PAPD that has been used as a framework policy. This government did not just wake up and craft something. There is this common saying that says, you sit on the old mat to plant the new one. So they decided to go back to look at some of the policy plans of the former administration. How good were they? And then they can draw a conclusion, have a look at it, do consultation, compare, and at a certain point in time, take some, leave some, add to what they have, and then they move. So the Liberia Vision 2030 was also captured as part of the planning process. So sometimes if a government takes over fellow Liberians, every government has its own agenda. Oh yes, every government has its own agenda. That's what I've said over time, that every administration, all of the presidents who have sat in our mansion and say they served as president for Liberia, they get something to be remembered for. Even you spend 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, people will remember you for something. Oh yes, that is just real. So this government had to go back to the Vision 2030 that talks about framework. So the thing about crafting documents, policy documents, it is not just about you because they gave you 6 years and then you craft a document that after 6 years everything will be destabilized. No. Everything be destabilized and the next government comes to power and they can't even have a starting point, or the lives of the people cannot be improved. So that's why, like this, the document we're talking about, the Vision 2030, Ellen Johnson took over 2006. She won in 2005, 2006 she took over. In 2012, 2011 she won another election, 2012, and she crafted a document that talked about Vision 2030. So she knew that our treaty would have expired in 2017, that Liberians would have gone to election. So she did not just do something that said, okay, let's do this from 2012 to 2017. We think it will do something better. No, but you got to do something that after you should have left power, it should have a direct reflection on the lives of people you think you've served. So that particular conference was held in Banga in 2012 with the saying, one people, one nation, united for peace and sustainable development. The PAPD on discussion also follows the agenda for the transformation 2012-2017 the agenda for transformation. What is the agenda from 2012 to 2017 under the same former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? This particular agenda for transformation 2012-2013 was for the country to be on par when it comes to sustainable and equitable growth and to create the right environment as Liberia transformed towards its long-term vision, a vision of becoming a more equal, just, secure, and prosperous society. So as part of that, the former president have crafted this particular document that Liberia can be a more equal, just when it comes to justice, secure, and prosperous society. So as part of this CDC-led administration or CDC government, they decided to revisit the agenda for transformation 2012 to 2017 to know as to whether what it's about to do can also fit in. The PAPD also informed. It is also informed by lessons learned from the implementation of the Internal Poverty Reduction Strategy 2007. This one is Internal Poverty Reduction Strategy 2007. It has to do with Liberia's internal poverty reduction strategy. It sets out the emerging process and framework for recovery and reconstruction in the context of post-conflict Liberia. It also sets out the national social economic concept and the foundation building process of Liberia. And lastly, this PAPD also features the Poverty Reduction Strategy 2008 to 2011. You all know the former president introduced this particular agenda. All right, there are people in New Cruton today who also benefited from this project. The last time there was a mother telling me how she benefited from the project. In fact, she was able to build a home. Okay, so the former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf can be remembered for that. Now, the rudiments that has to do with the principles supporting the PAPD squarely is that when you got me right, I was talking about human capacity building. It has to do with Liberia is rich in human and natural resources per capita national wealth index of more than US 10,227, but it is deprived of development largely because its human capital lacks the knowledge to transform the natural resources into wealth. So you see how the human building the human minds, building the human capacity is key. So most of the times we talk about no job, no job, no job. When these foreign investors come to Liberia, like for example, they want to invest into the energy sector, the rest of it, how many Liberians will have who are just schooled to some of these sectors that will think that can improve the lives of people in this country? So at the end result, you will notice that, correct me if I'm wrong, we have to go out and bring foreigners to come and operate in Liberia. And then Liberians do the ordinary job. So it is key when we can invest into human capital. Human capital. Okay, so like I say, it's the path of development, largely because its human capital lacks the knowledge to transform the natural resources into wealth, whether through farming, mining, fishing, or other productive ventures that require technology or financial investments. That's key. It was something that has been observed and is being reflected in this PAPD. But for the sake of our conversation and to just be precise this morning, not to just bore you about this PAPD thing, like we said, we will look at education this morning. Under the PAPD, where you have education is on level 1. Level 1. So what are some of the things that you look at in level 1? Human capacity. Again, human capacity for a knowledge economy, right? Expanding universal access to education, technical vocational training, and information communication technology. What is the development outcome of level one when it comes to human capacity building? Achieving more inclusive and equitable quality education and greater access to the life cycle of all Liberians. All right? And this particular thing is being backed by the Constitution of Liberia, the 1986 Constitution, when it comes to human capacity building on education level one of the PAPD. Article 6 of the 1986 Constitution talks about education, providing education to these citizens. It is the responsibility of any or every responsible government to educate its citizens. The Education Reform Act on the PAPD level 1, it backs the Education Reform Act of 2011. The Sustainable Development Goals number 4 that talks about education 2030. Now, if you go to the SDGs, Go 4, they are telling us that by 2030, not just in Liberia, but all the people around the world should have access to education. They must be educated by 2030. It is a set goal. So now all of the African countries, all developed countries have adopted this goal, and Liberia is of no exception. That's why those of you who ride along the town that you have the UN house, just look keenly on the UN wall, right? Look on that wall, you will see from goal 1 to I think 17, yes, something like that, from goal 1 to 17, if I'm not making a mistake. You will see what goal 1 talks about, what goal 2 talks about, what goal 3 talks about, and what goal 4 talks about. Goal 4 talks about education. By 2030, people around the world should be educated, should have access to education. So this government on its PAPD was able to reference the Sustainable Development Goals number 4 that has to do with education 2030. Let's move on. So we said the development outcomes should be achieving more inclusive and equitable quality education and greater access to the life cycle of all Liberians. Before we can come to the payment of WAS fees and the rest of it, where the free public college education, but we'll talk about the free WAS that benefits more than 40,000 students yearly. We will do a calculation this morning. Okay, we will do a calculation this morning on the show, but oh my word, I'm not just saying. Let me just take you to the main document this morning. Bear with me, please. PAPD. Okay. Okay, so bear with me this morning. Let's get on education, and then we'll be able to tell you where the issue about the Sustainable Development Goal comes in, and the rest of it. Oh my word, what's happening? This is Good Morning Liberia. We this morning we are PAPD. Okay, so we here this morning, and I hope okay, I don't know where I place this document. My word. I just wanted to give you exactly what the government said as part of the PAPD and what they were going to actually uh, achieve within the year on discussion. Okay, so we stay here. Yes, let's get to it right here. Let's get to it right here. I hope this thing can just open. This is Good Morning Liberia. Yes, we hear this morning. Oh, it seems somehow different from my end. Okay. Okay. So we almost there. So bear with me. Let me just give you what I'm talking about this morning. Thank God we are right there. But my eyes this morning, you have to scream me this morning. So we'll talk about the issue about education on pillar one. So on education, let's get to education. On education, because I don't want to just leave from where I am. Okay, so let's go back up. Okay, so there are lots being said on education when it comes to the PAPD and the, like we said, human capacity and the rest of it, high level national targets. One of the PAPD is 3 to 5. The ECE student to class room rotation below 50 in all counties. Rolled out standardized curricula and specialized ECE training by 2020. Okay, so it was one of the targets. And what is the corresponding goal of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is number 4, goal 4, is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifetime training opportunities for all. The strategies that is to be used is it to engage parents, improve facilities, curriculum reforms, systematic and continuous training of teachers, caregivers, interventions to reduce coverage and enrollment. One of the programs, school renovation and classroom construction in targeted counties where ECE classes are overcrowded. Now they honor the issue about education of the PAPD, honor its administration or its achievement, honor education when we're listening. They said they've been able to train teachers. So we'll give you the strategies that will be used and the programs that will be rolled out. And this was to be achieved in 2020. So according to them, they've been able to train teachers, they've been able to build schools around the country. So now I think it is just prudent when this information are being provided by the very government and people go and authenticate this information. If they say they're building in Grand Bazaar, go there. Like that, you can checkmate the government. But let's move on. I just wanted to say something on that particular aspect, but it seems to be so long. So like the senior high. Okay, the senior high level, we'll talk about the WAS now. Let's get to the WAS level we're going to talk about, right? This is senior high age 16 to 18. 70% of WAS takers pass with the score of Division 1 to 6 by 2023. Established 3-track S8X framework. And the goal 4 is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. What is the strategies used? Increase the proportion of qualified teachers, curriculum reform, and shift into an approach that has to do with the 3-track framework. What I intend to do introduce competency and demand-driven skills curriculum. Roll out 3-track. But let's just leave it and get to the main issue, right? The writings are very small, and I cannot just screen my eyes this morning. It will be so hard, difficult. But this is it. Honor this government as part of its wise payment fee. Since this policy, was introduced by the president in 2018, those who are benefiting from this particular project are Liberians. They are the ordinary people, children. They are the people who can afford to pay their children fees in schools, children. They are the people who they think life has given up on them and there's no way they can make life, but they got kids in school. But when it reaches that particular time, they also benefit. We will tell you exactly how it was done by the former regime and how it is done under the WIA's administration. One, the free WAS fee under WIA from 2020, that's from 2018, when the policy was introduced, or when that particular thing or the goodwill was introduced, up to 2023. And one thing the president said was, when I was senator of Moserado County, I encountered many children. I encountered parents coming to me to pay their children's WAS fees. Some of the kids will invade my office, or we came to the senator over and over to say, only because of WAS fees. So, other goodwill, as president of Liberia, he said he couldn't just sit and allow for children, because at a certain point you will not have access to him as president of the country. Though at the capital you see people who came to the senator, who came to the representative, and once you're representing the people at any point in time, you just have to come out. So it was something he encountered while serving as senator for Moserado. All right. So on and on, there were children, there were parents going to him to help pay their WIAC fees and the rest of it. So, as president now, he thought to himself to introduce something that the children will not have to go back to Nyobli Kanga Lawrence office to go and beg up for WAS or WIAC fee. They will not have to go to Senator Abraham Darius Dillon from Moserado office to beg him for WAS fees. They will not have to go to Representative Alpha K. Jones' office to beg him for WAS fees. They will not have to go to Senator Jean Tonola, who believes in education. Yes, he's one of the senators that I respect so highly. Who believes in education, to say, oh, Senator, the money, I'm here, and I think you need to help us to pay our WAS fees. So the president, in his own wisdom, was very instrumental to have introduced this WAS fees payment by the government. He said, my government will pay the WAS fees to end this entire thing that people will be running here and there. When WIAC Liberia has introduced the process to say it's about time that people pay the WAS fees, parents running here and there and the rest of it. So since 2018, the government has been able to live up to their promise. So let's look at the total number of students. So we take it from 2019, right? Let's leave 2018 up, right? But we're going to times the numbers by 200,000 students that have benefited, and then we'll do the mathematics this morning to know how much this government has spent only just on the payment of WAS fees for 12th graders in Liberia. We'll do the calculation this morning. All of us will do the calculation together. If the calculation is wrong, you're going to call us and tell us the calculation is wrong, or the government hasn't been able to spend this money, or it is not visible. We will do it together this morning. So let's move on. So we're going to take our own time. Those of you listening, listen well. We're going to take our own time as we provide this education this morning from the PAPD. All right. So in 2019, let's take for example, you had 39,887 students that benefited from this thing from the president, this goodwill from the president. In 2019, 39,887 dollars and 887 students, 12 graders around the country benefited. We'll come to 2020, but let's get to 2021. In 2021, the 12 graders that benefited, they are Liberians. They are the ordinary people children. They are the people who can afford. They are the opposition people, children. Right? When they have their kids in school in Liberia. You have 40,977 12 graders, Liberians, benefited from the goodwill of the president by paying their wide fees. That was in 2021. In 2022, you had 42,926 12 graders that sat the test, meaning they benefited from the president's wise payment policy, something he brought out because he said he never wanted for students to be moving from here and there. That parents should put themselves on a condition that though they are not ready to do, they are not ready for it, but only to satisfy the children, so they have to go the extra mile. So the president said he encountered that on numerous occasions, so he decided to stop it. 2023, the children are rating the WAS. It will end this coming, I think, in June of this year. All right. So it is estimated that about 50,000 Liberians are rating this particular test, this 2023 WAS test. Right? About 50,000 Liberians rating this WAS test. So what we're going to do this morning, put on your calculator. Let us all calculate this morning to know how much George Weah, President Weah, has spent on the issue about WAS fees, the WAS fees, the payment of WAS fee, and the rest of it. So we're about to do the calculation this morning. Put up your calculator. We don't want after we should have done it and say blah 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 blah. So let's get to your calculator. Get to your calculator. Those of you watching like the same morning, this is an exercise that we're on. So those of you watching the live feed too, put on your calculator, right? As we do the video, you also can display on the live. Okay, so let's move on. So what we're going to do this morning, since 2018 the policy was introduced, like the only time we had a low number that was in 2019 was something around 39,887. So you get 42,000 to make the number equivalent to the 39,000 to make it 40, and the rest of it will minus, and then we'll take 40,000 across the board as the number of students that have benefited from 2018 to 2023. So let's move on now. So let's say 2018, 40,000 students benefited. 40,000 students benefited. Put a calculator. You see the calculator? Those of you on the live feed, this is a calculator. I got a calculator this morning. So let's do it. Let's be practical this morning about it. So you got 40,000 students, for example, benefited in 2018 when that particular thing was introduced by the president. So 40,000 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 5 years. So 40,000 times 5. What does it give you? What does 40,000 times 5 give you? It gives you 200,000, right? 200,000. So this is it. Those of you viewing, that's a 200,000. It gives you 200,000. Since if I gave you 200,000, right? We're going to times this 200,000 by the fees that WISE or white office used to ask for. So the last time people paid WISE fees or wire fees was in 2017. How much? Those of you listening, how much did you pay for WISE or wire fee in 2017? In 2017, the last time people paid wire or WISE fee in this country, it was 2,600. 2,600 for 2017. 5 to 6 years running now. So this is it, right? So 2017, the last time people paid wire fee or wire fee was at the rate of 2,600. Correct me, you can do your research. Those of you listening, those of you who paid the money at that time can also come and say, no, it was 2,000 or it was 1,500. But in 2017, it was 2,600 before the president introduced that particular payment of wire fee by the government. So 200,000 students from, if we take it by the rate of 40-40 from 2018 to 2023, so you have 200,000 Liberians have benefited. So 200,000 times 2,600, right? So the 200,000 students times it by, if we take the rate of 2,600 as it was done in 2017, you will come out to 520 million Liberian dollars. So you see it? You see it? So this government, the government of President George Weah, since the policy, since this particular wise fee payment was introduced, the government has been able to spend, any calculation, 200,000 students turns about 2,600 Liberian dollars. So many you go to do it one by one. 200,000 students, one by one. So if you're talking about something about 520 million Liberian dollars. So is it? This is it. So is it unit 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 100 million? So this president, because people were he was being embarrassed, he was being contacted regularly. As Senator of Monterey, he decided to end the process under his administration. So this government has been able to spend 520 billion. Do your calculation. Now I said do the calculation. This government has been able to spend 520 million Liberian dollars on wise fee payment. So is it? So now, if we convert that money into USD, what is the current rate in Liberia? What is the current rate? As per the Central Bank of Liberia rate, the rate is 167. So anybody offering, like sometimes you see the fluctuation in the rate, people offering 170, but we'll take it about 167 because that's the standard rate, Central Bank of Liberia rate. So 520 million Liberian dollars divided by 167. How much would you have? Do your calculation. How much will you have? You will have $3,113,772. 3,113,772 $3,113,772. It will be what you will get as the amount the government of Liberia has spent on education. 3 million United States dollars, 113,772 dollars. In Liberian dollars, it will be 520 million Liberian dollars. In US dollar, it will be 3,113,772 dollars. That from 2018 to 2023, if you may, the government has been able to spend on education, not just the education sector, but the payment of WAS fees. No, we haven't gone to where he declared public universities and colleges around the country to be free. We'll have another time when we'll go there. Yes, we'll have another time and we'll tell you how much this government has been able to spend under the watch of President George Weah. Let's provide this education this morning. All right? So this government, as part of its free WAS policy, they've been able to spend 520 million Liberian dollars. And in US dollars, it's $3,113,772. Now, how much is the payment of WAS fees in Nigeria? Do your research. How much is the payment of WAS fees in Nigeria? WAS fees in Nigeria is 18,000 naira. 18,000 naira. What is the pen? Oh God. 18,000 naira. So let's convert that into your United States dollars. The conversion 18,000 naira to USD. It will give you $38.96. So you round up, you'll be about $39. So $39 US. 18,000 naira. You have the people pay in Nigeria as WAS fee. For Liberia is free. Let's come to Ghana. If you will convert that money into Liberian dollars, let's get the calculator. If you will convert $39 US, as per the current rate in Liberia, what will you have? $39 times 167, you're going to get $6,513. So in Nigeria, they pay 18,000 naira, which is $39. In Liberia, equivalent is 6,513. So if you were in Nigeria, you're going to be paying $6,513 as per the WAS regulation. How much is the payment of WAS fees in Ghana? The payment of WAS fees in Ghana is 381.24 Ghana cedis. 381.24 cent. $381.24 Ghana cedi, right? Ghana cedis. And if you will convert that money to USD, you're talking about $33.30. Let's look at $33.30 in Liberia. How much is it? 33 times 167. You will have $5,511. That's exactly what the people in Ghana, 12 readers in Ghana, are paying. So you see, so from 2017, like we said, we're paying $2,600. The president came in. If this particular policy was not introduced by the president, but now we're still going to be like the payment of African are going to be around 6,000, 5,000 because obviously things change around. Oh yes, that is for real. But let's see how it was done in 2012 before we get to the telephone line. Now, on December 4th, 2012, the government of Liberia, under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, introduced something. And what they introduced was, it was as a result of the constant engagement, right? The constant request from junior and senior high school students in Liberia for the former president to pay their West African Examinations Council fees. The former president introduced a program that she referred to as the Student Assistance Desk. Those who followed that particular program in 2012, you will have to call. That program was in the office of the president, right? So in 2012, because the students had to engage the president, where you need to pay our WAS fees, the 12th grade and 9th graders, so she introduced, as part of her engagement, as part of helping the population. So she introduced the Student Assistance Desk. But see how it was done. This is how it was done. And then compare it with the current president, George Weah, and you do your own analysis. So when that program was introduced on the 4th of December 2012, the ways in which a student, a 12 grader, a 12 or 9th grader would have benefited at the time. This is it. A beneficiary must demonstrate that he or she is incapable of meeting the payment requirement. So, in 2012, before you get on the president or the Student Assistance Desk, which was a program introduced in the president's office, which is the former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you must provide proof. You must demonstrate that you are incapable, meaning you ain't able at all to meeting the requirement, the payment requirement. The administration of the schools where the students attend will provide information on the students and subject each student to a process that will ensure due diligence. So meaning the school that you were attending in 2012, if you wanted to get on the president's the Students Assistance Desk, a program rolled out by the president, the school you were attending at the time must be able to inform that particular office that yes, this student is in the school, and in fact he is not able to pay his fees, and that's why he is on this particular calling for this particular assistance. The next thing, a beneficiary must have a current grade point average of 80% or above in each of the sciences: mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology. So at the time, if you now have 80% average in mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, you are never going to be part of the assistance program for the president in 2012 to pay your fees. That's why exactly that's what I mean. The other one I talk about, for you to benefit from the Student Assistance Desk in 2012 as part of the president's will of helping 12th graders, beneficiary must submit a 500-word essay on why he or she needs to be assisted, why he or she is asking for WAEC fee in 2012. The other one say, go on the executive mansion website. It is there. And I pack my own thing. All right. So a beneficiary must submit a 500 word. All the things are doing are a requirement. First, they say the first one, the top beneficiary must demonstrate that he or she is incapable of meeting the payment requirement. The administration of the schools where the students attend will provide information on the students and subject each student to a process that will ensure due diligence. Because now, whenever someone will say, I want for you to pay my fees when you're not in school. So a beneficiary must have a current grade point. At the time, in 2012, the average of 80% or above in each of the sciences that has to do with mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology. That's how people were benefiting. A beneficiary must submit a 500-word essay on why he or she needs the assistance. A beneficiary must submit a written request for wire fees payment assistance addressed to the below address: President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the CO, Mr. Batu Gray, Executive Mansion, Liberia. Then lastly, a beneficiary must be willing, when called upon, to render a few hours of community service. The last one, a beneficiary must be willing, when called upon, to render a few hours of community service. So you got to make a commitment at the time. If you really want to get, how much were they paying, sir? If you just want to get on the president, the student's assistant desk, just to pay your wire fee at the time in 2012, you had to pass through all of this, what we're talking about. So when they grant you that particular opportunity, when they clean on in the community, you have to go back and pay. You got to pay back, run a community service. You must break 500-word essay, right? You must have a grade point of 80% in chemistry, biology, mathematics, physics. What are the processes in the 2018 policy introduced by President George Weah? It's just simple. You must be a registered 12th grader. You just be a registered 12th grader. That's all. You ain't going to write essay to say, oh, President Weah, I want you to help me to pay my wife's fees. You're not going, President Weah ain't going to call upon you to say, come and sweep in the community because you benefited from the program. President Weah is not telling you to get 80 average, though it is an encouragement that students should double up. Because one thing President Weah said when you started that particular policy, he said he called on the students to double up because some of the things they were doing were not good. The grades were really encouraging when they go for the WAS and things. So he just called on the students to double up. So he's not going to tell you say you need to provide 80% or 80% average before I put you on my tuition, my free WAS payment. So that's how it was done in 2012 on the former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. On Weah is zero requirement. Zero requirement. If you think that you like to say you need to the school and sent you, oh, that is just a fair thing. So this government has been able, the president has been able to, like we said, use 520 million Liberian dollars on the payment of WAS fees, which is just equivalent to $3,130,772 when it comes to the USD. Like we said, other people pay $33 US in that country. We brought the reference of Nigeria and Ghana. That's how it is done. So is this part not visible? But let's say kudos to the taxpayers, because it is as a result of you paying your tax that you have your students enrolling in school today. When it comes to WAS payment, They will not pay a dime just to sit the wax. It's as a result of the payment of your tax. Once you pay your tax, look, when you pay your taxes, when you pay your tax and your taxes get to work, you as a person can benefit. So most of you don't know that indirectly you guys are paying tax. But again, your children are also benefiting from that tax you pay. 520 million going behind here from 2018 to 2023. Let's get to the telephone line. 1 hour of solid conversation. We'll take your calls now. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 are the numbers. You want to be live on the show. So if the calculation we did, you can also call and tell us exactly. But that's just the real fact. That's just the real fact. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Okay, that person is out. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. And those of you following via the live, you call plus 231 775 1891 93. You will be live on Good Morning Liberia on this conversation. This person is on line 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where do you join the conversation from?
Okay, you're actually making history because I normally do not call on radio, but I listen to you while driving, and your analysis is really great, and I love that we can get a sense of what's happening in our region with regards to development.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also want to give a little twist to your explanation, and that is you compare the requirements, the policy for obtaining waiver on the WISE 2012, and now in 2018 the policy was changed. And I really believe that if our country is going to do better, if we're going to aspire for greatness, we'll have to set standard. I really, really believe strongly that 2012 requirements should be returned. We cannot just hope for the future if we think we should not work for it, and that everything should just be free. And that's why our country is what it is. We have to open down everything and create no standards. So anyone can just jump on and do whatever they wish to do. Now, everywhere in the world where development came, standards were created. We have to create standards that people want to aspire to. So once we create standards, those in junior high school looking to senior high and then doing the WISE will start to work towards that. They will know they have what to do because the requirement have to meet. And the more they put their foot forward, their best foot forward, the better they become, and they will be able to serve our society better, not just going for a free kick on the table. Thanks very much for that analysis. I think it was really, really clear, and it brought some clarity to my understanding of how this WISE thing has been arranged. Thank you very much.
Thanks so kindly. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 are the numbers, and you will be live on Good Morning Liberia. So he talks about standard. He talks about standard, and but that's it. So we anticipate your call now. We've done our part. Yes, we've done our part, and I think it is yours now to play your part. Gordon, maybe you got some contrary views to what we said. We talk to you. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Let's hear you. What's the name?
My name is George. I got from District 11.
George, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for your analysis, and thanks to the government so far for trying to implement the policy of sustainable education. we go back to the old government or the former government. They did well in implementing the strategies. And with the life of this government, the issue of education is different from financial aid. So if you're educating, it means you're finding means for them to get knowledge. But somebody who attended school and completed high school in the 12th grade, the requirement of graduation is the test. So if you find out the test, I don't see it as educating. Because if you check the plan of education, we talk about building more schools.
That we have not reached that part. So we just decided to take one from the
Even
PAP.
the one you took
Mhm.
is contrary to the education, the
How
development plan.
how is it when I told you before reading out the issue about achieving honor education? They talk about they started the building of 28 high schools and 18 early childhood schools.
Let's move into the issue of white women. How is it linked to that supplement education goal?
No, but it empowers parents, those who are not able to pay their children's fees. Look, they think about it. No, no, no. The thing about it is that even if a child is being empowered from the school, from first grade to 12th grade, at that level, when you are not capacitated to pay your fees, obviously you wouldn't do the test. So because of that, because of the you don't have that particular money to pay the fees, you're going to wait. Is that not a help? Or if a student will sit down because he or she is not able to pay your fees, is that not a waste of time? Go ahead.
Okay, so my point is, the name again that program is carrying presidential goodwill, right? Is that the name for it, presidential goodwill? Because how you say presidential goodwill?
No, I did not tell you. I only told you about the student assistant desk from former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Okay, so I want to discourage this since I've been hearing about it from the beginning of this. I've been discouraging this. It is referred to as toxic charity. So we don't allow toxic charity. That is to say, you expect people to get from you all the time, and that will not be sustainable. It will not be continual. So putting a method that will allow parents to be able to pay for that students. If you build some things that make parents empowered, they will have no need to go to offices to pay wise fees or whatever. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so kindly. 0770-907-907. 0880-907-907. 28 minutes to go. We're right here this morning. We'll take your calls. We'll make it very interactive. Yes. So today we're not going the usual way and the rest of it. So we want to be on the this part this morning. Like that, we're going to tell you what has been. So one of the reasons why you said you notice we decided to talk about this free WAS that is benefiting over, like say, more than 40,000 students yearly, because as part of the achievements on this government, talking about education, what they've said is that they've been able to provide free college education that benefits over 10,000 students every year. They started the building of 28 high schools and 18 early childhood schools, gave 3,500 supplementary teachers permanent teacher status. That is an upgrade. They've been able to increase the pay of 3,500 supplementary teachers from 8,000 Liberian dollars to US $125. They have added 1,300 teachers and guidance counselors to government Liberia payroll and the rest of it. So we chose the free payment of WAS fees. So we decided to expand how actually it was done yesteryears and how it's being done this time around on the Good Morning Liberia. My name is Abraham Parker. This morning I'm here around 7:30, making sure that we'll take your calls. We'll take few calls this morning. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. and you will be live on Good Morning Liberia. We'll take this person coming on line one. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, let's hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning, let's hear you. What's it?
David Johnson, I call you from District 10. Yeah, I listened to your analysis on the two previous, the previous government and the current government way of giving back to the student in terms of being wisely. I will not agree with the total 12 policies. If we want to make it better Liberia and progressing our young people to take more matter in terms of this country, I think we have to strive to do system that in terms of people will earn what they will get from the government to build a capacity. They will just do a rock on it and get everybody free high speed. I think what government should do is a great point to empower parents and capacity then that will be able to take care of the children and be able to pay children high speed. Those that will be able to benefit from government should be people that will be the current people that will earn it and they'll be able to what? Justify that because of my capacity I'll be able to aim for this, cash out from government. I think that is the way to go, and I believe that there should be a standard set for Liberia going forward.
Thank you. 0770-907-907 0880. This person on line one. Good morning. Good morning, you live. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Hello, you live. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Uncle T.
Uncle T. You call from where?
Calling from Ambate.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, brother, you see some of this song, the rich people don't want the poor people to survive. But one fact here is that the man is helping our children because we are just them. So it's making them better to take anything they feel that say. Those who think is every day and go, but we show that our president will go back because of his good and his great job he is doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for calling as well. Take your calls right here at 0770 907 907. You will be live. This person, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, let's hear you. What's your name?
This is Anderson. I call from here, the junction.
Let's hear you, man.
Thank you for the better analysis. It's just so unfortunate that the people who will lose the senior, if I'm lack of better ones, who some of our students to the free one payment. You got students that will go from ABC to 12th grade. Their government took power less than 6 years ago. You say because A1 fees is paid at the highest level 12th grade and the president comes out 12th grade and are able to rest business sector, way to because the one is free. No, it just be unfair. They can tell us the 2012 policy, how impactful the quality of students that policy impact as compared to over 200,000 students. If you are 2022, nearly 260,000 students, they can tell us, so they will just go and say, oh, it is not impactful, it is not impactful. Thank you for your great analysis.
Thank you. So we gave you the opportunity to call, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty. So we do the work behind the scene for you. We present it to you, right? We present it to you, and once we present it to you, you can critique the work, but you just have to be fair enough. So I think this policy, as part of this done, but let's talk to this person. Good morning. If that person is out, as part of the government's plan, is just intended to help parents. So I think the caller will just let the line, but just fair enough. Like a child will sit in from first grade up to 12th grade, and he or she can really compose, or can I even say something, can I express, and the rest of it. And so you want to like restrict that to maybe the payment of wise fee, having a negative inflection. People should work. Good morning, let's hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning, let's hear you. What's your name?
My name is Samuel to Solomon Yeswa. I'm joining from district number 2 this morning.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you, my brother, for the declaration. Actually, I don't want to in Liberia yet to say that Liberian students will fail because of what? My brother, the education system is at stake. Let me tell you, you would have somebody going to do physical in biology, in chemistry, and if you go to majority of the schools in our country, you don't even have library people talking about literature. Let me just tell you my own story. When I graduated from high school, my first university, my brother, it was more of a community. But I started biology lab. All my friends were laughing, and two of us who came from the school that never had labs, they were like, those who came from first year school, like, William Bootman, they started laughing. I mean, I thought, because some of us never, one day touched what they call microscope, one day never touched, what they call it, from all these things, we only laugh. It's not that, so when we saw it in the subject, it was kind of strange. So, you don't have students going to sit on a person that you test the person to back or an insect when they are not seeing or being educated. Then one more tutorial class they can give. It's not sufficient for someone to be able to learn what they should learn and go take the public test. So I think what the Ministry of Education should be doing within their regulation is to make sure that every public school have at least one, they cannot have both of the language to read for two of the subjects that need to be functioning in that language. At least one. It will help our students a lot. Thank you for giving me the time this morning.
Okay, this is not just unique. We'll take more calls right here on this radio. We got it. They coming up very shortly. This is Good Morning Liberia, right on this radio. Okay, so we'll take two more calls and then we'll go for a break. When we return, we'll call it a day on this edition of the show, which time we return on tomorrow at 7:30 on the show. So it has really been a great time. Yes, it's really been a great time. So we'll take two calls right here 0770 907 907. This person, good morning. Good morning, let's hear you. What's your name? Let's hear you.
Yeah, I just want to say this to Liberians. We know that for facing our past leaders all the time. When you're in power, we always condemn them, but whenever they leave position and the next government take over, we will continue to see how they will do well. And for what they're doing for the government, for Liberia now, for being one thing is a great thing that we should be happy about. But people get continue to criticize, And even the president came out to say things that he would do. No government has ever done anything that it needs within 1 year term or within a 6-year term. So that time should be given to the person to be able to do what they say they want to do. But many of us are bringing so much in there that the person that comes there will be more important than those that are there. But I want to tell that people should be careful. Those that are there, what they are doing, we should appreciate. Now when another person comes, we should know what has been done. So I want to thank you very much for the show this morning.
Thanks so kindly for following. Yes, this person is there. Good morning, let's hear you. Let's take this person. Good morning, let's hear you. What's your name?
Good morning.
Good morning, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Ebenezer. This is speaking from John David.
Ebenezer, go ahead.
I spoke years ago to the government, they were about paying the wild fee. For them, every sector, everybody is always an open job facility, the government is open job facility for people to work and then have their own money to pay their children fees. It's not bad for government to pay wild people. For their own money to pay their children wild fees. Yeah. So thank you for the show.
Thank you, Ebenezer. This person, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Edwin N. Yuri, calling from Harrisburg.
Let's hear you, Mr. Yuri.
Thank you so much for the program. Yes, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to to the president for this provision for the YFPs to take that burden off the family and the constraint of other students that were independently supporting themselves. Okay, but I want to make a suggestion.
Go ahead.
Getting to YF is the final point of high school. Looking around, we that in the community that sometimes look up to the past and we understand the educational sector when it comes to the public school. I want to ask the government to please, move from wire remain there, but at least improve it with the support of the public school and the subsidies that used to be given to the private schools, especially when it comes to the incentive of teachers to be increased to have competent teachers within the school sector. Because even now, when we go to wire, just yesterday, a guy told me that I should come to that to help me with some money for him to pay for flexibility fee. that tells me that the students are not well prepared for the wire exam.
No, but I think that particular pressure comes from the school. So sometimes you see there are students who are prepared. Let's call spade a spade. There are students who are prepared, but they've been suppressed by the very administrators. The schools administrators will have to pose them, tell them to pay this. In fact, your friends are paying. So at the end result, they all have that understanding that once you not pay, you will be excluded from the process. So that's how it's like.
Okay, let me just conclude. Okay, I understand that. But for instance, in Carrollton, we have a public school here. No, if the student leaves the school by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, going back home because no teachers are available. The problem is, when it comes to education, health, and security in any country, these are sectors that you have to prioritize high because, it's very important for the human resource development. So my point is, I'm appealing to this government. They are doing great when it comes to the wire stuff. But we need the foundation that the Liberian students had before that whenever they leave this country and go outside, they used to come first or second but not third. And we can still build the system the same way. The resources are available, taxes are being paid, but we just need the direction that what the president did to direct some of the funding into the wire. We should focus more in sending more funds into the educational sector, especially where we can have maybe if possible to have government school from preschool straight to high school, free, and not just free, but sound education. Teachers pay well, so that I get a good monitoring system from the Ministry of Education to make sure that that's the only way we can build this country. That's the only way we can cut down all the fun things that are happening with the Zogos and all that kind of stuff. Once a man is sound in his mind, he will make sound decisions. I understand that whether people educated, some people can take trips somehow, but it will be minimized. So I want to say a big thank you to the president for what he did in that line, and I'm also asking for future government to continue the same practice of this government. So we can't say, one government comes when it leaves, and the other man comes with new policy that will not be the same. We should have security that is in the interest of the masses. So I want to say thank you.
Okay, thanks so kindly for following as well. This person, good morning. Good morning, you're live. Let's hear you. That person is out. We'll take more calls right here. 12 minutes. The time will be 12 minutes time. We will leave you on this edition of the show. This person, let's hear you. Good morning. Good morning, you're live. Let's hear you. Hello? You gotta change your location. Hello? Hello? That person. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. How you doing? What's your name? You gotta change your location and call us back. Alright, call us back. Change your location, please. We can keep you on the line. 0770-907-907 0880-907-907. This person on line two. Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Tony Pontian, calling from the Oro.
Let's hear you, Tony.
Yeah, for what all the government have been doing and people complaining, I wouldn't want to recommend and appeal to the government. One thing that we are doing required for in this country that will satisfy them is agriculture. If you want to make Let us do everything possible and focus on agriculture. If you can't get, it should be competition among them for making a great farm to see how we all can develop our country. So agriculture is the next thing, I believe will go as well. They will take over again, but their focus should be agriculture. So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you. So once we come to agriculture, on this government's achievement, we will take on agriculture. They say they prepare to provide agricultural grants to up to 600,000 farmers. According to the government, they've completed more than 200 kilometers of feeder roads to strengthen agriculture in Liberia. Are they visible? When we come to agriculture, we will definitely tell you, and that is just in link to the PAPD. 10 minutes, the time will be 10, and then coming up very shortly, we say goodbye to you. Say we'll take your calls 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. So, like we said, since the policy was introduced, the government has been able to pay 520 million Liberian dollars. If you figure that out and do the conversion into USD at the rate of 167, you'll be talking about $3,113,772. That's exactly what the government has spent on WAS fees, and it's as a result of the people who pay the tax, the taxpayers. All right. So once you pay your tax, you can enjoy. So your parents, your children will enjoy. You pay the tax, you enjoy. We pay our tax as well, so our children will enjoy when it comes. When it reaches the time and you know your tax goes, so enjoy it. But I think you should be our last caller. Good morning, let's hear you.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, let's hear you.
Let me say good morning to your many listeners. There was global, I mean, I don't show the conversations that this should fix every couple of rules. But let me appreciate you guys. You know, situation policy. You know, many of us are against the president for paying one fee because when you look at the services of paying those students one fee, many of our students are not doing there in a while compared to when
My man, let's stop that thing, man. Let's stop that thing. Bobby, let's stop that thing, man. Bobby, let's bring sincerity. No, it is not about when you say the right thing. Hey, go Bobby. Go ahead, Bobby.
when our parents were saying about what they had after what we were very serious compared to look at the master failure in one. Let's be real. Look at the master failure in one. What kind of Jesus is that the government wants to have open situation? We must look up from the kindergarten and build a new foundation. Not someone who going to lay down whole day, who does not even know how to read and write for 12 years. When they come out, they can accept it when they not agree to spend our tax for your money. This is what we say to the government. Our recommendation is let us make the primary education free. Let us build a new generation. Let us spend our money on them. What was somebody spending money on men and women? What we thought is good and not good.
But man, don't. Oh my word. It is never an excuse why the president pay the children fees. Why because the president we are telling them to pay when you pay their fees? No, don't bring that to you. Bobby, thank you, man. Bobby, thank you, man. I haven't spoken to you. Good morning. Good morning.
And but I can see the idea about youth empowerment when it comes to education. The reason why sometimes it's not good for the government to spend money on the youth education because the parents of the children will not focus on the children. They pay from their own pocket or from their private, so they will not be able to focus. But when you try to do your own personal and spend on the child coming out to the region, your 12th grade, it means that the government
Thank you. That one, that's 17 for me. I can, yeah, I can respond to it. Oh my word! This is Good Morning Liberia. We gotta go. Oh yes, is the president around to? Let's go to the president.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
The show is very interesting this morning. Thank you
Mm.
for the technical discussion this morning.
Thank you too for calling.
I always tell people, I say, even if they're only here, that is still for one. Somebody telling us that because government pay YC, that is the reason why students are failing. They said my failure. When the Liberia government, they start already just say as next. How many students were passing YS at that time? When parents were struggling to pay YSC, I was attending Bosman non-grade YSC. I was not able to pay non-grade YSC, Bosman school. Then today, we are paying YSC for over 1,000 students in this country. Every year to go and take white. There's someone telling me that because we are paying YSC, that is the reason why students are paying. So this country, this country is just about me, myself, and I. It does not mean it can be you. As long as it is you, know that it is bad. You know how many times today I've been listening from the failure of the YC? The amount they're supposed to use for YC today, they can keep that money to give it back some request or cartoon to have their party. They can use that money to add up to send their children for further education. Then you telling me that because of the we are paying YC, that's the reason why we are failing. So because my anybody tell us paying our YC, while we were failing and their government said students as
a message system.
Yeah, our education system they came in as best. Our parents study of our YC.
Thank you.
They were best.
That's anything. That's anything. Thank you, my brother. We gotta go. We gotta go.
You know what really happened, my brother? How you gonna help me? I'm actually children. My first son is in first grade. I was praying for God that this failure of YC, it should be continuously, it should be fast in the law. That I'm a son today that support the government. That tomorrow I can be a beneficiary, which is my child or my children. That they should pay their YC because we all will struggle for this. We're praying for this. So I beg for our legislator, let us try to start this into Lord. I think 12 it off. YC should be free. It should be free just as even the way it's doing it. Thank you for the time, my brother.
Thanks so kindly. It has been a great time on the show. So, Bobby, you got what is up? In 2022, we had 97% of the students who sat the test pass. So that's anything for me. I can respond to. When you come to the disco with this session, I can respond to you. But we gotta go home. It has really been a great time here this morning on Good Morning Liberia. The show returns tomorrow. Yes. So tomorrow we'll be here with another thing. Like we said, we want to look at the PAP, the V. Mohammed Sharif. Thanks for following us from South Korea. So we gotta go home. Thanks for joining us. Many thanks to all of our viewers as well. My name is Abraham Parker, and join us on tomorrow. Till then, have yourselves a wonderful time from Voice of Liberia, Monrovia. Bye bye.
The switch valve.
Alright, brother, I just come from talking. Tell you that.